How's it going, FPL managers, and welcome back to another FPL Éire YouTube video. If you're new to the channel, please like this video and subscribe for weekly FPL content. Gameweek 20 has just concluded, so we need to start looking ahead and planning towards Gameweek 21. In this video, we'll be looking at how my team fared out in Gameweek 20, and also be looking at my transfer plans and team selection ahead of Gameweek 21. Let's get into it. Gameweek 20 ends with a score of 50 points for my team. My intended transfer in this week was Conor Gallagher, but with the reports Tuesday morning that he had COVID, I went for Phil Foden instead. Thankfully, Foden scored the only goal against Brentford, and he came away with an 11-point return. My captain Son returned an assist with a 12-point return, but considering Southampton had 10 men for most of the game, I was definitely expecting more. Cancelo, Antonio and King all returned for my team, with the two strikers grabbing an assist and Cancelo earning a clean sheet. With no Salah on my team, I was dreading the worst against Leicester in the late kick-off, but thankfully he somehow missed his penalty and returned 0 points for those that had him or captained him. With all of these returns going my way, I managed a green arrow and I'm now sitting at 27k overall. At the time of the recording, there are currently no double game weeks announced for Gameweek 21 or Gameweek 22. Let's have a look at what Ben Crellin predicts as to which teams will be doubling in these game weeks. From looking at Ben's planner, he is currently predicting 13 teams to have a double in Gameweek 21. From these teams, there are a few standout teams that have potentially favourable fixtures and a double for Gameweek 21. From this, we'll use this planner to plan ahead and target the teams who have these potential favourable fixtures in Gameweek 21. With a potential double in mind for Gameweek 21, let's move on and have a look at my transfer targets for this week. With a potential double against Crystal Palace and Norwich, Jared Bowen is certainly top of my transfer targets for this week. He's certainly a man in form, as he's just off the back of a 14-point haul in Gameweek 20 with 3 assists against Watford. Moving on to the news this morning that Emmanuel Dennis now looks to stay put in the Premier League and not be heading to the African Cup of Nations. He is certainly high on my transfer targets this week too. He's a man in form, and with a potential double against Tottenham and Burnley, it looks like I'll be bringing him in this week. Let's move on and have a look at my transfer plans for Gameweek 21. With Reece James set to be sidelined for the next few weeks with a hamstring injury, it looks like I'll have to move him out of my team. I'll have very fond memories of owning him from Gameweek 9 to Gameweek 12, but unfortunately in recent weeks, his returns haven't been as good. Moving up the field to my striker option in Lacazette, he's a tough fixture this week against City, and with Dennis possibly doubling, this is the reason I want to transfer him out. I'll be waiting for the double game weeks to be confirmed first before I make my moves. Let's move on and have a look at my potential lineup for Gameweek 21. With the potential double game weeks in mind, I line up Bowen and Dennis as my planned transfers. As mentioned before, the double game weeks haven't been announced yet, so I'll be waiting until they are before I make my moves. If Ben's predicted double game weeks do go ahead, at the moment I'm currently sitting on 5 double game week players. Depending on what fixes are announced, I could be very tempted to free hit this week. For now, my potential lineup is as follows: De Gea in goals, Trent, Rudiger and Cancelo in defence, Jota, Foden, Bowen and Son in midfield, and Dennis, King and Antonio up front. From this, let's move on and have a look at who I'm considering for the armband this week. For now, with currently no double game weeks announced, Heung-min Son has the most favourable single game week fixture. Watford have somehow failed to keep a clean sheet this season, and with 4 goals and 2 assists for Son in his last 5 games, this points towards him surely hauling this weekend. If the double game weeks are announced before the deadline, I'll be considering either Dennis or Bowen for the armband this week. As mentioned previously, I'm still waiting on the potential announcements of the double game weeks before I lock in my team. If the double game week fixtures are announced before the deadline, I'll also be considering a free hit team. Don't forget to follow me at FPL Éire on Twitter and Instagram, where I'll post my locked in team before the deadline. There you have it. There's my Gameweek 21 team. Best of luck for Gameweek 21, and I'll see you in the next video.